Hello everyone and welcome to the Carcode YouTube channel. If you're new here, please make sure to hit the subscribe button down below and turn on the notification bell so you're notified every single time I upload a new video. Today I am at Pye Motors Ford in Kendal and I'm going to be checking out this. This is the facelifted Ford Puma and this is the ST line model in solar silver. I'm going to be exploring what's new. This 12-inch screen is so crisp and clear, 12.8-inch digital dials, rear tinted windows as standard across the range. I'm also going to be seeing what stayed the same. Fun driving down twisty country road. Ford's mega box system. You can get the winter pack still for only £350, heated front seats and the heated steering wheel, and just giving it a full review, seeing is it one of the best small SUVs on the market. To find out, keep watching for the full overview of the facelifted Ford Puma. Okay then, let's start with the exterior design of the Ford Puma. Not a whole lot has changed on the outside of the vehicle. This is where minor tweaks have been made. It's a minor facelift. The main difference is to the front of the vehicle, where we've seen the Ford badge move from the top of the bonnet here down into the middle of the grille and grow. It pays more homage to the original Puma, which also had its Ford badge in the grille. However, that was much smaller. You've still got these bulbous headlights, which I love, and they're such a signature to the Ford Puma. Both the original and the SUV version had these bulbous kind of bug-like headlights, which I love. You can see these signature Ford lights. These are all LEDs, LED low beam and high beam with these daytime running lights. You can also get matrix ones, the glare-free matrix lights for £800 option, and they've got a little claw detail, almost like Peugeot, but remember this is a Puma, so it's a big cat, which I like the look of a lot, and that's on all the press photos. I've got those lights, but these lights still look really good and really suit the look of the car. You don't see any front sensors on the front of the car. You have to get that in the driver's assist pack. That's a £950 optional extra. However, it includes 360-degree cameras, front and rear parking sensors, adaptive cruise control, blind spot monitoring, power folding door mirrors on titanium. Power folding door mirrors on titanium, you've got to opt for those. So the driver's assist pack is a great option. This particular car's got the comfort pack, which is £750 optional extra, including the electric tailgate on this vehicle, keyless entry and start, and wireless phone charging as well. The Puma is available in a choice of 6 different exterior colours. The standard exterior colour is now the frozen white. It used to be blazer blue, but that's no longer available. So a standard frozen white is standard across the range, which does suit the look of the Puma. It's the colour I reviewed last time. You can click up there to watch my review on the pre-facelifted Ford Puma. The other 5 colours are an £800 optional extra, so that's not the cheapest on the market, but there is some really nice colours. This is the solar silver metallic, which really suits the look of the car, and it's quite nice to see a silver because we're not seeing as many silver cars as we used to. It means it's a bit more special. My favourite by far is the Desert Island Blue. I love that on the pre-facelift. I love it on this one. Really suits the look of the car. You can also get a metallic red, fantastic red. I'm not a huge red fan, but it is a very bright metallic red, so some people will really like that colour. You can also get agate black, which is a black metallic, really lovely colour on the Puma. And last but not least, you can get the new cactus grey colour, which is a light grey, kind of like a Volkswagen Moonstone grey with a hint of green, so it's kind of a sagey green. It's not metallic, looks okay. I'm not a huge fan of those sorts of colours without a colour, just a flat colour, but in the promotional photographs with all the options on it, it looks really good and quite eye-catching. Personally though, I do prefer a metallic colour. One colour I would have loved to see on the Puma is Pacific Green from the original Puma. They should bring that back. I'm giving you that idea for free, Ford. You could do like a Pacific Green edition and have some green accents inside. I can see that going down very well. You can also opt for the contrasting black roof and door mirrors. That's an option of £500, but you can't go for it on frozen white. So you have to pay an additional £500 on top of the £800 for metallic paintwork. That means you're spending £1,300 on the paintwork, but it does look great with the contrasting roof, especially as it's floating along here. That looks really nice in black with the mirrors. I think solar silver with the black roof's a really lovely look. And you can also opt for a panoramic sunroof, another great feature. Being the ST line, you get all the body colour cladding around the side of the wheel arches, so it looks a lot less SUV-like. On titanium, this is a black plastic, so it has more of an SUV-esque look. I would have quite liked to seen a Puma Active trim like we see on the Cougar facelift. I think a Puma Active would be great, especially as we don't have the Fiesta Active anymore. Maybe they'll bring that in the future. And also the front grills now don't have any chrome, they're all gloss black, so have a much sportier look, especially the ST line with the honeycomb grille and then the full ST with the matrix LED headlights and extra ST styling. The Puma now also adds rear tinted windows as standard across the range, which used to be over £250 optional extra. So that's really great that you're getting those as standard. They add to the sporty look of the car, really enhancing the exterior design. Wheels on the Puma range between 17 and 19 inches. These are 17s. They start with 17s on the titanium model, which are actually the old ST line wheels, and they actually look really nice and suit the car well. Going up to ST line, you get these 17-inch alloys, which have more of a bold look and look more like the ST line X wheels than they did before. ST Line X wheels are 18 inches, very similar to this, but an 18-inch alloy wheel, and they look great. You can opt for 19s on ST Line and ST Line X for a £750 option on ST Line and a £500 option on ST Line X. They look excellent. They remind me a lot of the ones on the Ford Explorer. You can click up there and watch that video on the Ford Explorer EV. The Puma will also be coming as an EV, so they've done a great job with the wheels, all looking great, and really the diamond cut look makes them look bigger than they are. 17's perfect blend of comfort. The rear of the Puma remains largely unchanged from the pre-facelift. Now we don't have the real exhaust on this side. That was a really nice thing they've done there, Ford, with that, so that's a shame that that has gone. I'll flash back to the previous review where I talked about the exhaust on that one. Love what they've done with the exhaust as well on the Pumas. You've got real exhaust, and they've just done, it's just very simple. They've just shaped the metal, obviously, it's very easy, and just made a statement of it rather than having it hidden or pointing towards the ground. It looks really good, and it has quite a nice little note to it as well. But the diffuser at the back looks very nice, and they've not tried to put fake exhaust in that can look quite plasticky. As we see on the Volkswagen Taygo R-Line, I'm really not a fan of the fake exhaust on that car, even though I'd say that car and this car are two of my favourite small SUVs. But of course, on the full ST Performance version, you do have twin exhausts, which look excellent. The pre-facelift was an excellent car, and there's plenty of used models available. So if some of these features and tweaks aren't really up your street, then you can save a bit of money and get a used or nearly new pre-facelift model. Let's take the Ford Puma for a drive, the facelifted model. This one is the same model that I tested last time. It's the 125/100. It's 123 brake horsepower, 1 litre turbocharged Ecoboost with the 6-speed manual transmission. This is my favourite engine, and I'm going to talk about engines in a little bit. It doesn't have auto hold because it doesn't have like an electronic handbrake. So it has auto hold when you're coming up on the clutch, which is really handy. You just have to keep your foot on the brake at lights, etc. The steering wheel's actually out of the new Transit Custom, so it's quite a big wheel. The little turbocharged 1 litre Ecoboost is really good. Nice and nippy. It's plenty nippy enough when you need it to be. And it's a small car. It's based on the Fiesta. Basically is the reincarnation of the Fiesta without being majorly more expensive to recent prices from when the Fiesta was leaving, but offering quite a bit more practicality, so that's really good. Such a slick gear shift as well. This screen is so clear, by the way. It literally looks like a MacBook screen. I like the size of the vehicle. It's not too wide for nipping around country lanes, which is good. Picks up well, look. That's what I mean about the turbo kicking in, is when you need it to, it will. Most vehicles now are turbocharged, but Ford does a great job of giving you that sporty driving feel, and it means that for a small car you can get quite a bit of power out of it, even from a small engine, and a fun, engaging driving experience. The Puma is available as a mild hybrid exclusively. You can't have a pure petrol model, and you can't have a full hybrid model, although a full electric Puma will be coming in the future. And to be fair, I wouldn't be surprised if they did bring out a full hybrid Puma as well. Okay then, let's check out engines offered on the Ford Puma facelift. So believe it or not, on the Puma facelift, all models have now got a 1 litre Ecoboost engine. Even the ST model That might blow your mind, but I've been a passenger in one of those cars, and what I've got to say is don't knock it till you try it. It was pretty impressive. The 1.5 litre Dragon engine on the pre-facelift was a pretty amazing car, and that's still available on the used market. There's still used cars and nearly new cars out with that engine, so you can have a look at those. Let's talk about the facelift though. It starts out with this one, 125 PS, 1 litre Ecobosst MHEV mild hybrid with the 6-speed manual transmission. Really engaging driving experience, 0 to 62 time in 9.8 seconds. It's got 170 Newton meters of torque. Next engine is the same engine, but with the 7-speed dual clutch automatic transmission. You can also get the 153 brake horsepower 1 litre Ecobosst, but now exclusively with a 7-speed dual clutch instead of with the 6-speed manual as well. So that's a bit unfortunate, but again, there's loads of used examples on the market of that one. Last but not least, the Fiesta ST has 170 PS, 168 brake horsepower, 1 litre Ecobosst MHEV with the 7-speed dual clutch automatic transmission as well, making the 0 to 62 sprint in 7.4 seconds. You're going to expect it to have that 3-cylinder thrum, but the turbo helps massively and means it's quite a bit more powerful than you might expect. So definitely test drive one if you haven't already. It's not on hydraulics, but most small SUVs don't, and it's a very light bonnet as well. And it feels quicker than the figures suggest on paper. I've reset my trip computer as well, so I'll tell you what I get from a mix of driving. I'm going to go on the dual carriageway, a bit around town, and so you can see a realistic MPG figure. Back to the dealership, 8.7 miles. With it in eco, just for the last little bit, it's averaged 48.6 miles per gallon. So that's very good, very easily achievable, and I think I could quite easily get high 50s in eco mode on a longer journey as well, which is very good. I should expect the full electric model will have the same dash as this car because I don't think it needs anything extra. I think it's got everything you need. I really appreciate as well that the 12-inch screen quite obviously facing towards me, which is really good. The other screen was in the middle, slightly facing away. It just wasn't as good, the 8-inch screen, and it had a very much more plonked on look, whereas this is a lot more seamless. Do you need a large screen like this? Not necessarily, and people say, oh, it's more distracting to have a large screen. I agree if it's up high, but I think this is actually less distracting because if you've got CarPlay on or what have you, or a map, surely it's so much safer if there's a big arrow showing than a tiny little screen that you're squinting at. It's really brought it up to date. Physical climate controls, yes, they're not there. The shortcuts are very good, so it's not really an issue. Oh, another Puma. Ruby Red Edition. I think that's really cool. See how the 17-inch wheels deal with the cattle grid. Nice. 18s or 19s, probably not so much. I do like this steering wheel actually. I think it's a bit controversial, but even though it's quite a big steering wheel, it's still quite thin to hold, which is a really great feature because some steering wheels are really fat and chunky, just not the nicest to hold, whereas this is actually very comfortable and you've got the beautiful perforated leather on all the ST line and ST models. And it's just a bit of fun driving down a twisty country road. You do get that slight thrumminess from the 3-cylinder, but I don't think that's necessarily a really bad thing. And of course, this is the next generation of Ecobosst engine, which came in 2017. So it's not a wet belt on it. The regen is quite good on it as well. Even though it's only a mild hybrid, it does actually work quite well. And a little battery with a charge symbol comes up when you are charging the batteries. For a small SUV, they've utilised this platform of the Fiesta so well and given it almost class-leading boot space, and interior space is very good too. Look how good the rear camera is. Comes through the screen, literally full screen. I'm not normally a big rear camera fan, but with the 360-degree cameras, I can imagine this being absolutely incredible. I prefer having this oversized steering wheel than the miniature steering wheel that you get on the Peugeot vehicles, which is quite fun and race driver-like, but isn't suitable for everyone. This car is quite a bit more ergonomic, I find, than the Stellantis vehicles, in the case that you just kind of get in and you can get comfortable very quickly, even if you're quite a tall driver, or likewise, if you're quite a short driver, you're going to get comfortable. The steering wheel also never blocks the digital instrument cluster, which is excellent. Funnily enough, a surprising amount of manufacturers don't think about this. You think it'd be so obvious, but no, this is excellent. The screen being integrated feels so much more premium. I love that. You can get the winter pack for £350, still only £350. Heated front seats and the heated steering wheel, that's a great option to go for, great value for money, so I'd go for that as well. And this wireless phone charging is included in the comfort pack as well. This 12-inch screen is so crisp and clear, it literally looks like my MacBook. It's so good, and generally everything is quite responsive. So I found how you turn the brightness. There we go, that's better. It was a bit bright for me. And it's the Ford Sync 4 screen instead of the Sync 3. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto Wireless, built-in navigation as standard, all really great. You have the radio logos. It's just so modern and so easy to use. It's so user-friendly, anyone could use it. Climate control is very easy as well. Just press that, then it's all there. You can click where you want the air going to quite easily. You can do your fan speed on here and scroll like that. Have it down. So that's all really easy. You've got your quick clear front screen as standard, so that's got the heated elements in the windscreen, excellent. Had the soundbar added, so you've got a really good sound system in the car as standard. This hard plastic on the dash doesn't look the best. It's hard, it's screwed together awfully well, but it just looks a little bit cheap and it's hard plastic. But you've got this nice leather look material with the red stitching just to add that bit nicer, and then this is very nice with the textile on the soundbar. That bit does maybe let it down a little bit, but it's nothing major, and I've seen a lot worse materials in other vehicles. This actually reminds me a lot of what the T-Roc was like pre-facelift, and it had much the same material, so not a big deal. They've done a nice job of finishing everything off. As I say, winter pack 350, not on this one. You get USB-C and a USB, normal USB there, that's great. Wireless charging, this alloy gear stick is lovely. Manual handbrake, would quite like electronic handbrake, but I get it, it's a smaller SUV and most of them don't have it anyway. I don't find this button the easiest to use. The up button's not always that quick. This line bit here, this bit here really reminds me of Volkswagen, so you can tell their partnerships with Volkswagen currently ongoing. They've definitely been inspired a little bit and done this screen, but the infotainment is actually a lot less laggy than what we've seen previously in Volkswagen, so that's very well done. Only thing, adjustment and comfort that lets it down really is the seat belt height is not adjustable, unfortunately. It is just fixed in one position, so that would have been nice to see that adjustable. For some shorter drivers it could be an issue, it's quite high up, it could get you at the neck, so just take it for a drive and see what you think. It might not be an issue at all for you though. The seat bases are still quite flat, but you do have the adjustable lumbar support on these seats, which is nice, and now you have a proper leather wrapped or leather look armrest instead of like a plasticky one, which is good. You got a little train here as well, and that's great. It's not adjustable, but most small SUVs don't have an adjustable armrest, and I think that's perfect. You could lean on it when you're driving. I never do. I normally just use it if I'm stopped somewhere. Illuminate cup holders. This is not leather wrapped on this one, so that would have been nice, but you can easily get a kit online to do that. Very inexpensive. Watch the rear camera as well. This is going to be really good with the 360 cameras, but look how wide view that is. Then you can press up here and then you can see a little bit closer angle or this wide angle. It's very modern. They've definitely been inspired, like I say, by Volkswagen for the screen and this bit here down here, but it's really nice and so much more integrated, facing towards the driver. That together just adds for such more of a premium feel and look. So this has the hands-free tailgate apparently, so let's try it. Oh, there we go, it worked, yay! You've got this perfect parcel shelf. You don't need a carpeted parcel shelf. This is great. We've seen it in the new Honda HR-V and many other brands, Toyota using it, so many others. It's great, makes so much sense. You've got the false floor hood here with Ford's Mega Box system. So Ford's Mega Box gives you all this additional space with the plug hole. So you can drain it out. You can see the ground just down there. Quite clever, right? So that's a nice little feature. You can have a space-saving spare wheel in here for £200 optional extra. It's really good that, because not all manufacturers even offer the option of having a space saver. So the fact that this has got that is really great. Even though it's a mild hybrid, you still get the option. £200 optional extra, and it gets rid of the plug hole, and it also makes the Mega Box a little bit smaller. Alternatively, you could just buy one without the spare wheel and buy a mini spare wheel and just chuck it in here. There's plenty of space for one and a jack and everything. But of course, if you buy it from factory, it's going to be all fitted out properly. And the false floor does move as well. So you can have it lower down if you want, lower down, or you can have it higher up so it goes flush with the rest of the boot. 456 litres is very good. It's actually bigger than a Volkswagen T-Roc, which is based on a bigger platform than this vehicle. It's bigger than a Nissan Juke as well. It's bigger than quite a lot of small SUVs. It's one of the biggest on the market. So they've done a great job with the size of the boot, especially being one of the smallest SUVs. And the electric tailgate as part of the comfort pack can be closed in a manner of ways through the screen, with the button, with your foot, or with your remote control key. And you can see how stunning these rear tail lights look when they're lit up. What a great design. Another really useful practicality feature is Ford's Easy Fuel system. Really nice, it just keeps everything clean. It's on the other side, but that doesn't matter so much because the steps to fueling are so easy. You don't have to pull a handle inside, you don't have to twist the cap. You literally just grab this tab, put the nozzle in, and that's it. So makes fueling really easy, and luckily this is very efficient. They all are very efficient, getting over 45 miles per gallon. And if you drive these carefully, you can get in the high 50s, so you won't be at the pumps too much. So how is the Puma for rear space? Well, it's a small SUV, so you're not going to have a massive amount of room back here. This is set up to my driving position. I've got not a lot of knee room and not a lot of headroom, but it's not bad. Even with the dark headline and I'm in the shadows, I don't feel too claustrophobic back here. It's not too bad. You don't have a center armrest, but that's quite common. You don't have it on most small SUVs, unfortunately. However, now you do have charger ports in the back, which is new. So you've got two USB-C ports down there and a 12-volt socket, which is really welcome touch to the car. Got pockets on the backs of both seats as well, which is another great feature, and the ISOFIX points are nicely hidden whilst being easily accessible. Not having an armrest means the middle seat is a lot comfier, so that's a great thing. If you're carrying 3 adults a lot of the time in the back of your car, this is great. It's a proper middle seat and it's actually comfortable. The backrest is also comfortable. If this was an armrest, it wouldn't be. So if you regularly carry 3 adults in the back of a car, then the Puma might be the small SUV for you. It definitely is ahead of many others in this class, better than the Nissan Juke, which does compromise your back seat space. For that funky styling, controversial, you get a lot less space in the back of a Juke. I think the Puma does a great job of balancing fun looks with also actual practicality. It is a small SUV, so you're not going to have masses of room back here. So how much will a new Puma set you back? Well, they start at just under £26,000 for the titanium model, whereas the ST line, like this one, starts at just under £27,000. Going up, they go up and up in price, ST Line X and the ST. They do actually keep their value quite well as well. Although if you do want to save a bit of money, you can get a nearly new model and save quite a bit off the list price of the vehicle. Also, Ford have quite a low APR offer on at the moment, so take a look on their website. Also, all of Pye Motors links are in the description down below, so check them out if you want to know more about the Ford Puma. And a huge thanks to them again for making this video possible, and to Dan Park, the sales manager. I've done quite a few videos here. What do I think of the Ford Puma facelift? Well, I think it's excellent. As the pre-facelift was, it's just had a few tweaks just to bring it up to date, especially with the interior. The new screen is excellent, facing the driver and feeling really high quality, as with the digital dials as well. Nice and integrated and high definition as well. That's excellent. The styling was always nice on the outside, but inside that's just added to the update on the vehicle. There could be a few more colour options and some of the plastics inside could be a bit more premium. That's what you see on most small SUVs. You see a little bit of cheaper materials here and there to keep the cost down, but the manual is one of the best in the business, really nice, and you feel more connected to it than the 1 litre Volkswagen Group SUVs. As an overall package, I think they've done a really good job, and I would definitely recommend you go and test drive one and see what you think yourself. For an efficient, affordable and spacious small SUV, the Ford Puma is definitely one to consider. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review of the Puma facelift. If you do, hit subscribe down below for more car content like this. I look forward to seeing you in my next review.